Okay, now sometimes things are not just business. When we coach somebody, we're there to coach their whole life. We're there to create results for you as a business owner. And sometimes we use the term business coach because it's most identifiable. But the reality is that I work with you. And as a business owner, sometimes things are not always business. Sometimes things are personal. And to be quite honest, when I work with you is to create results that you want in your life. The business is really the tool by which that can happen. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the personal side of coaching and how that benefits you, because I want you to be rounded. You know, a coach works with an athlete or an actor or a singer or whatever. They want them to be well-rounded. And sometimes we work on people's weaknesses because your strengths are already strengths. So if we can work on things that are not necessarily there, we can well-round you as an individual. Now, what I've learned from other people, through Tony Robbins, to everybody that I've had an opportunity to work with and grow with over the years, is sometimes we pour ourselves into our business because things at home aren't necessarily the best, or sometimes they are, but there's usually a portion of our life that isn't. And the reason is that you can have all of the money in the world, you can have all of the success in the world, and sometimes people still aren't happy. Sometimes people still need something. And money doesn't make happiness. It makes things a heck of a lot easier. But there are people without money that are happy. They're just not happy financially, but they're happy personally. And we all want to make sure that we're fulfilled. Because without fulfillment, without joy, and without being happy and being able to smile and enjoy the day and feel gratitude for the day, if we go through our days all stressed out all the time, we're not going to be happy, no matter how successful you are in business or in your personal life. And so one of the things that I was able to learn was that everybody on the planet, we have 6 basic human needs that everybody has. So I want to go through those 6. Now the difference is that we live our lives in our day-to-day based on 2 of those 6. We value all of those 6, but we value them differently. And we live in our day-to-day world on those top 2 values. And so what I want to try to teach you right now in this video, and over time, because sometimes things take time, but you can do it in the video if you master these techniques and keep, learning. These are things that Tony Robbins has done his whole life, things that I've learned how to do, and you can change your mindset in an instant. You can change your energy in an instant. You can change your thought processes, your focus in an instant if you understand the 6 basic human needs. So we're going to start off with the first one. The first one is certainty. Okay? One of the 6 basic human needs is certainty. Certainty is the need to always be right all the time. Right? Now, either to be right or to know that something's going to happen and have that certainty level, whether you're employed, you have a paycheck, but I'm talking to business owners here. So knowing that if you're going to make a decision in your company or make a change or make an investment, there's a part of you that wants to be certain that it's going to work. Okay? Before you even started your business, you had an idea to start your business, and you kind of had to have some certainty to say, I know this is going to work, otherwise I'm not going to put my money into it, right? So a lot of achievers are business owners. And so I want to use this example, this analogy that I'm going to use here. So there's a moment in a child's life. Most of the time we don't even recognize when it is, that an achiever is born. Everything happens in the moment. So think of this for a second. A child who's crawling and stands up for the first time and starts to walk across the floor for the first time. Let's say the mother, the father, aunt, uncle, grandparents, everybody's in the room, and this kid just stands up and starts walking, and they go, woohoo, yeah, cheer, cheer, everybody's happy. In an instant, an achiever is born, because they crave that certainty. They know that what they were able to do created a reaction. And it goes a little bit further than that. I remember playing on a football field. I was a quarterback, and on the football field, there's 11,000 people in the stands. And you make a play and the crowd goes wild. You can look up and you can hear everybody in the stands cheering and clapping, and you feel that power. And so it reinforces the achiever in you to keep doing more, to keep being an achiever, to keep being the producer, the artist, because of that feeling. The problem with certainty, though, the problem with always needing to be right, especially if that is your top human need, I want you to think back in your life of how many arguments did that cause? What good, what damage? Think back on that. Because I'll tell you this, the only thing certain in life is uncertainty. We have no idea what's going to happen, although we think we like to. So if you live your life with your top human need being certainty, you're probably not very happy. There are probably certain times that you're pretty heated and aggressive. And there's probably certain conversations or arguments that you've had that you wish you didn't have. The second human need is significance. Now, significance is an interesting one. Significance is needing other people to feel something within yourself. Although everything that we have is in our mind and our body, we control everything, but significance is one of those things that, let's say, for example, a child is walking for the first time and falls and scrapes its knee. Now, if you've ever paid attention to a child who's fallen and scraped themselves, most of the time, they don't immediately start to cry. Most of the time, they pause and they look up and they're waiting for a reaction. Did what I do, is it okay? Is it bad? Is it good? What? They're waiting. And sometimes a mother will run over, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? And the dad will run over, are you okay? Are you okay? And they're coddling the baby and, oh my gosh, it's okay. Oh my, it's okay. And all of a sudden, significance is born. In an instant, that person grows up to need other people for reassurance. Significance is mainly predominant in couples. Your spouse, because that's the one person in the world that you can be close to, that you should feel the most important in the world to. Some business owners put it into their employees or other parts of their family or their friends, and they look for other people to feel significant. Am I valued? I come home from work and I want a hug and a kiss and to be greeted. I don't want to come home from a long day of work and not be acknowledged at all, because then I don't feel very significant. I might as well stay at work where I am valued, right? And so if you have significance in your top two of your human needs, there's also a part of you that's probably not very happy, because you're always craving it. You're seeking it from people, and sometimes you're just not going to get it. So imagine living life where your top two human needs are significance and certainty, which a lot of people are. I want you to think about that. The next one is variety. We have to have variety in our life. We can't eat the same stuff every day. We can't wear the same clothes every day. We can't do the exact same thing every single day, which is why you're a business owner. If you've ever been an employee, and if you were an employee for a little while before you became a business owner, you go into work, you show up at the same time every day, you do the same task every day, you leave at the same day, you check in, you check out, you go home. Is your life at home, is your life at work? Are you happy, or do you go to, oh, I gotta work today, right? We all need variety. That's why you're a business owner. We need it. Everybody needs it. The next one is connection and love. Okay? We all have a need to feel connected to somebody, to be loved by somebody. Whether we're giving it, whether we're receiving it, we need to have that. That's a basic human need. Okay? Life alone is no good. Whether you get the love and the connection from your friends or your family, it doesn't have to be from a spouse, but you have connection and love. Could be from an animal, but we all have that human need. The fifth one is growth. We constantly have to be growing. So I want you to think about the life cycle of this for a second. You start off, you're young, you're growing, literally physically growing, learning to crawl, to walk, to run, to jump, learning language. Then you go into school and you're learning to read and write and make friends and you're learning things. And then you get into sports and you're learning a new sport and you're perfecting the craft. Then you go to college and you're learning a career. Maybe you didn't go to college and you start to learn a job, a craft. Then you start a business and you're growing the business. But at some point in time, things level off. Your business levels off. Your life levels off. You're not reading anymore. You're not learning new languages. You're not learning new information. You go, maybe you don't go to the gym. If you do go to the gym, you get to the gym and you get to a place where you want it to be. You look good, you feel good, you're happy. And what happens? It levels off. There's a point in time where we level off. And when we don't have that growth anymore, something is missing. Growth is important. You have to constantly be growing. And number 6 is contribution. Contribution to society, contribution of your time to your company, to charities, to helping other people. So I'll tell you a quick story. I was 12 years old, and my dad told me, I might have been a little bit older than 12, maybe it was 14 or so, it doesn't really matter, but my dad told me one year that we were not going to have Christmas. And I said, well, what do you mean we're not going to have Christmas? You know, I'm 11 years older than my middle brother, and I think 13 years older from my younger brother, and of course they're young at the time, right? If I'm 14 years old or so. And he said, well, we have a couple families that aren't going to be able to have Christmas this year, so we're going to help them out. One of the parents, the father, had passed away in Iraq, and one of the parents had died some other way, and one of them just didn't have the money to have a Christmas. And so we went shopping, and I'll tell you, I had an absolute blast picking out bicycles and toys, and shopping was fun. It was exhilarating, and knowing, you know, it wasn't for me, but I still had that adrenaline pumping to go through the store and pick things out on the shelf, the things that I would want that these people are going to enjoy, or I think that they're going to enjoy. So Christmas morning, we show up on their door, and we put everything on the door, and we bang on the door, and we sprint away. We never looked back. We didn't watch them open the door. I didn't get to see their reaction. They don't know who it was. But from that moment on, it's probably one of the reasons that I became a coach. Being able to contribute myself, my services, my time, anything to be able to help somebody else in a significant way is a feeling that you just can't duplicate. So I want you for a second to really think about those top 2 human needs that you value. And then think about the top 2 human needs that you probably really do value. You just maybe forgot. Because years ago, significance and certainty were my top 2. And I'll tell you, as a mega achiever, as doing things, you know, you crush a big sale, you start a company, you get to a certain point, you make $1 million, you have a big commission, you make a big sale, whatever it happens to be, and you feel awesome for a couple hours, a day, and then what? I got to do it again, which is why we're achievers, constantly chasing that feeling of euphoria. But then I realized that, from Tony Robbins, he helped me realize that growth was really what drove me. Being able to grow through sports, through helping people grow a business, through growing my own businesses, through growing my body, going to the gym, reading, learning a language, learning Italian, learning things. I really am happy with growth, and I love helping other people grow, which leads me to contribution. Being able to go shopping and provide a Christmas for somebody that didn't have a Christmas, being able to help you as a business owner grow your business, find your problems, find what's going on with it. That level of contribution is what drives me. That's what fulfills me. Imagine living life with certainty and significance versus growth and contribution. What do you think your life would feel like? Now that you know that, and if you've taken the time to think about what your top 2 are today, and where your top two probably should be, you can change your focus in an instant. You can change your mindset in an instant. That's the other side of coaching.